Have you found yourself holding the morning paper at arm's length, only to find the words are still blurry and out of focus? Or perhaps you've noticed something even more unsettling: a difficulty in recognizing faces from across a room, even the familiar face of your spouse or grandchild. This isn't just a simple sign of getting older. This could be a warning that your eyesight is beginning to decline. For millions of people over the age of 60, this journey often begins with subtle, seemingly insignificant changes. Do you need more light to read? Is it becoming difficult to see while driving at night? Do your eyes feel strained and tired by the end of the day? While these symptoms may seem minor, they can be the first signs of a gradual, quiet progression towards something much more serious. Over time, that slight blurriness can turn into a dense cloudiness. And that cloudiness can evolve into frustrating blind spots. Eventually, everyday activities like driving can feel unsafe. Reading can become an exercise in frustration, and your personal independence begins to slip away. Does any of this resonate with you? If so, please know you are not alone. In fact, nearly 1 in 3 adults over the age of 65 in the United States is contending with age-related vision loss, caused by hidden medical conditions like macular degeneration, cataracts, or high eye pressure. These aren't just minor inconveniences. They are progressive and can be irreversible, representing the leading causes of permanent blindness in older adults. What makes these conditions so dangerous is that they often develop without any accompanying pain. This is why medical experts have aptly named them the silent thieves. They systematically steal your vision, one eye cell at a time. So what is truly happening inside your eyes? The core problem often boils down to 3 key issues: chronic inflammation, oxidative stress, and increasing intraocular pressure. Simply put, your delicate eye cells are being damaged from the inside out by harmful toxins. Inflammation and pressure, much like a balloon that's being slowly overinflated until it's on the verge of bursting. But here's the encouraging news. Some of the most potent tools for fighting these silent vision killers are likely already available in your kitchen. And no, I'm not referring to expensive supplements or invasive surgical procedures. I'm talking about real, natural seafood that has been clinically proven to help slow down cataract formation, protect your retina, and reduce pressure within the eye. If this sounds like something you're interested in, and this is your first time here, please consider subscribing for more practical, senior-friendly health advice. Now let's talk about the first powerful food you should be eating to protect your vision: salmon. If there is one food every senior should be consuming for their eye health, it's salmon. I'm not saying this based on a popular trend or a mere hunch. I'm telling you this as a doctor who has personally reviewed the scientific evidence and witnessed the results firsthand. Let me explain why. Your eyes, particularly the retina and optic nerve, are among the most metabolically active tissues in your entire body. This means they require a significant amount of oxygen and produce a lot of waste, which makes them highly vulnerable to oxidative stress and inflammation as you age. This is where salmon becomes so vital. Salmon is one of the richest natural sources of omega-3 fatty acids, specifically DHA and EPA. These aren't just beneficial nutrients, they are essential building blocks for your eye. DHA, for example, makes up a large portion of your retina. It forms the membranes of your photoreceptor cells, which are the very cells responsible for capturing light and converting it into sight. When your body doesn't get enough DHA, those cells can become weak and inflamed, and they begin to die off. This is a common starting point for macular degeneration. EPA plays a different but equally crucial role. It helps improve blood flow in the tiny capillaries of the eye. This in turn helps lower eye pressure, clear out waste products, and ensure that oxygen and vital nutrients can reach the most delicate parts of your visual system. Together, the DHA and EPA from salmon act like an internal repair crew, calming inflammation, strengthening tissues, and keeping your retina flexible and fully functional. That's why numerous studies have shown that older adults who eat fatty fish like salmon at least twice a week have a significantly lower risk, up to 38%, of developing advanced macular degeneration. And you don't have to wait months to feel a difference. I remember my patient Arthur, a 71-year-old man who came to see me because his eyes felt uncomfortably dry, blurry, and achy by mid-afternoon. He told me that driving home after a trip to the grocery store had become incredibly stressful because the glare from headlights was simply too overwhelming. Instead of starting with eye drops, we started with his dinner plate. I asked him to incorporate grilled salmon into his meals 3 times a week. He even began keeping canned wild salmon on hand for a quick, easy lunch. Within just 4 weeks, the dryness had noticeably improved. And after 6 weeks, he said something to me that I will never forget, "Doc, I drove home last night and didn't have to squint once." That wasn't a miracle. It was a simple biological response. When you provide your eyes with the foundational materials they need, they have the ability to heal and respond. Salmon also provides a natural source of vitamin D, which helps suppress inflammatory signals in the eye. It's also rich in vitamin B12, which is crucial for keeping your optic nerve, the vital cable that connects your eye to your brain, strong and responsive. So the next time you look at a piece of salmon, I want you to see more than just a piece of fish. I want you to see protection, repair, and clarity. And you don't have to spend a fortune. Whether it's baked, broiled, or canned, what truly matters is consistency. 2 to 3 servings a week is enough to make a real difference. Now that you understand what supports the back of the eye, let's move on to the second food on our list. One that helps you see clearly in the dark and keeps your night vision sharp even after 60. For many older adults, the first sign of trouble begins subtly. Have you noticed that when you enter a dimly lit room, your eyes take too long to adjust? Does the furniture look blurry? Do your hallways feel darker than they should? Or perhaps, and even more frighteningly when you're driving home after dinner, does the glare from oncoming headlights turn every car into a blinding wall of light? You might assume this is just an inevitable part of aging, but often the problem is something deeper, and more importantly, something fixable. The root issue may be that your eyes are literally starving for a critical nutrient, zinc. Zinc is one of the most essential minerals for maintaining healthy vision, especially your night vision. It functions like a delivery truck carrying vitamin A from your liver to your retina, where it's converted into a compound called rhodopsin. Rhodopsin is the key pigment that allows your eyes to detect light in low-light conditions. It helps you adjust when the lights go out, and it helps your pupils adapt so you aren't blinded by sudden glare. When your zinc levels are low, this vital delivery system slows down. Rhodopsin levels drop, your eyes become sluggish, and you begin to see poorly in the dark. You may not even realize why. This is where oysters become a game changer. Oysters contain more zinc per ounce than any other food on the planet. Just 1 or 2 medium oysters can provide all the zinc your eyes need for the day in a form your body can easily absorb. But oysters don't just provide zinc. They are also one of the best sources of selenium, a mineral that your eye lens needs to neutralize a toxic byproduct called hydrogen peroxide. This substance builds up as you age. If left unchecked, this oxidative stress causes proteins in the lens to clump together, which is exactly what leads to the development of cataracts. The lens goes from being transparent to cloudy until one day you struggle to recognize a loved one's face in full daylight. This is the quiet progression of vision loss that selenium helps to slow down by giving your lens the antioxidant tools it needs to remain clear. And then there's taurine, another powerful nutrient naturally found in oysters. Taurine helps regulate the fluid pressure inside your eyes. This is absolutely critical, especially if you are at risk for glaucoma, a condition where pressure gradually builds up and silently damages the optic nerve. By keeping this pressure stable, taurine protects the very wiring that transmits visual signals to your brain. Let me tell you about Martha. She was 68 when she came into my clinic. Her main complaint wasn't blurry vision. It was fear. She had stopped driving at night altogether because of how long it took her eyes to adjust to changes in light. She said that even walking down her own hallway in the evening felt like being blindfolded. We ran some tests and found that her zinc and selenium levels were on the low end of normal. Not dangerously low, but certainly not optimal. We didn't immediately jump to a prescription. We started with food. I encouraged her to try lightly steamed oysters twice a week. She wasn't thrilled about the taste, but she was willing to try. 4 weeks later, she came back, not just with clearer vision, but with a renewed sense of confidence. She told me I still keep the lights on, but I'm not afraid of the dark anymore. That is the profound power of nourishment. When you give your eyes what they truly need, they will respond. So if the world seems a little dimmer lately, if headlights hurt more than they used to, or if small print seems to disappear in low light, the issue may not be your glasses. It may be a missing mineral, and oysters might be your best natural source for bringing that vision back. If you don't enjoy them raw, don't worry. Steamed, baked, or added to a stew, they still deliver the same benefits. What matters is consistency. Up next, we'll look at the final seafood on our list. One that's tiny affordable and contains one of the most powerful antioxidants your eyes have ever seen. Have you ever ended a long day staring at your phone or computer and felt that your eyes were sore heavy or even slightly burning? You're not imagining things. This is a form of light-induced damage, and it's becoming increasingly common in people over 60. But what if I told you that one of the most powerful protectors against this damage resides inside a small pink shell? That's right. I'm talking about shrimp, and specifically a natural compound it contains called astaxanthin. You may not have heard that word before, but if you're concerned about your eyesight, it's a name you should remember. Astaxanthin is what gives shrimp and salmon their reddish-orange color. More importantly, it is one of the most potent antioxidants ever discovered for supporting eye health. Here's how it works when your eyes are exposed to blue light from phones, tablets, TVs, or even bright daylight. It generates free radicals inside the retina. These unstable molecules can attack healthy cells, leading to inflammation, fatigue, and over time, damage to the macula. The macula is the exact region of your retina responsible for sharp central vision. When it's compromised, activities like reading, driving, and recognizing faces become significantly more difficult. Astaxanthin acts like a bodyguard. It can penetrate deep into the tissues of the eye, particularly the macula and ciliary muscles, and neutralize free radicals before they can cause harm. What makes it so unique is that astaxanthin can cross the blood-retina barrier, something most antioxidants cannot do. This means it doesn't just circulate in your bloodstream, it actually gets inside your eye where it matters most. Clinical research has shown that astaxanthin can help reduce eye strain, improve visual sharpness, protect the retina from oxidative damage, and may even slow the progression of age-related macular degeneration. And yes, shrimp provides it in a natural, highly absorbable form. Now I'll be honest with you. The levels of astaxanthin in shrimp are lower than in some supplements or wild salmon. But for many of my patients, eating shrimp regularly is a practical and enjoyable way to get consistent natural protection. I remember Robert, a 65-year-old retired math teacher who loved doing crossword puzzles and scrolling through old photos on his tablet. But after just 20 minutes, his eyes would ache. He said he had to blink hard just to focus again. He didn't want eye drops or pills. He just wanted a simple solution. So we decided to add shrimp to his meals 2 to 3 times a week, lightly sautéed with garlic and olive oil. After just 1 month, he told me I still get tired after a long read, but the ache is gone. My eyes feel lighter. Sometimes that's all it takes, a small change repeated consistently. Shrimp also offers bonus nutrients like vitamin B12, selenium, and zinc, supporting the very same systems we talked about earlier. the retina, the optic nerve, and fluid balance in the eye. So if you're someone who reads a lot, uses digital devices, or simply feels your eyes tiring faster than they used to, shrimp may be the simplest, most delicious solution your vision has been waiting for. And yes, even frozen shrimp works. The most important thing is incorporating it into your routine. Now that you know the 3 types of seafood that support your eyes from every angle, from the retina to the lens, from pressure regulation to blue light protection, the next step is straightforward. Make them a consistent part of your diet. You don't need a complicated meal plan or fancy recipes. You just need consistency. Here is the simple plan I recommend to most of my patients. Start with salmon, the retinal builder. Aim for 2 to 3 servings a week. Baked, grilled, or canned are all excellent choices. Just avoid deep-fried versions, as frying can destroy the beneficial fats. Next, bring in oysters, the night vision booster. 1 to 2 servings a week is enough to help restore healthy zinc levels and support lens clarity. If you aren't a fan of raw oysters, steamed or baked options work just as well. You can even find them smoked and canned in most grocery stores. Finally, add shrimp, the antioxidant protector. Have it 2 to 3 times a week, lightly sautéed or steamed. It's affordable, easy to prepare, and tastes great with garlic, lemon, or tossed into a salad. This simple rotation, salmon, oysters, and shrimp, gives your eyes the structural fats, trace minerals, and protective compounds they need to heal, defend, and function the way they were designed to. And I know it works because I've witnessed it firsthand. Let me tell you about Helen. She was 72 when she first came to my office. A retired librarian. She was quiet, but as sharp as a tack. Her complaint wasn't dramatic. She just felt that her eyes were always tired. She struggled with small print. Her eyes would sting by mid-afternoon, and she had begun to avoid driving in the early evening because of glare. We ran a few tests. Her intraocular pressure was slightly elevated, and her zinc and B12 levels were on the low end. Her diet consisted mostly of toast pasta and low-fat foods. She told me, "Doctor, I haven't touched seafood in 20 years. We talked it through, and she agreed to try something new. Together, we built a simple plan: grilled salmon on Mondays and Fridays, a few steamed oysters with lunch on Wednesday, and shrimp with veggies on Sunday. No supplements, no eye drops, just food." When she returned 6 weeks later, she looked lighter, brighter, and happier. She said, "I'm reading my novels again without stopping every 5 minutes. I drove home from this community center last night, and I didn't have to squint once." Her eye pressure had improved, and so had her energy. But what truly stood out to me wasn't the numbers. It was her confidence. She told me I didn't realize how much fear I'd been living with until it finally lifted. That's what happens when the right nutrients meet the right body at the right time. And that's exactly what I want for you. Whether your goal is to read without strain drive, without fear, or simply feel sharp and safe in your own home, it all begins with small, consistent steps. Your fork can be your medicine, and your plate can be your pharmacy. And yes, even at 70 or beyond, your body still has an incredible capacity to respond. If there's one truth I've learned after 30 years of practicing medicine, it's this: the body never stops trying to heal. Even when your vision seems dim, when letters blur on the page, or when your world feels like it's closing in around the edges, your body has not given up on you. It simply needs the right tools, the right support, and the right care. So if you're sitting there wondering, "Is it too late for me?" Let me assure you, it is not. Every serving of salmon, every forkful of shrimp, every zinc-rich oyster is a message to your body that says, "I still care. I still believe in healing." You don't need to reverse time. You just need to nourish the moment you are in and allow nature to do what it was designed to do. I've seen this happen again and again, not just with Helen, but with dozens of older adults who thought their eyesight was slipping for good and found new clarity one small habit at a time. You are not alone in this. Millions of older adults are walking this same road, squinting through the same frustrations. But now you know more. You have a plan. And most importantly, you have the power to take the first step today. So start small. Start with just one of these seafoods this week. And as the weeks go by, pay attention. Notice the details. Notice how the light feels in the morning. Notice how the road signs become a little sharper. Notice how the fear begins to fade. If you're still here with me at this point, thank you. It means you care deeply about your health, and I truly admire that. If this video gave you even one helpful idea, one spark of hope, please consider liking it, sharing it with a loved one who needs it, and leaving a comment. I'd love to hear about your journey. And if it's your first time here, welcome. Please subscribe to my channel so you never miss another tip that could change your health and your life. Take care of your eyes. They have shown you a lifetime of beauty. Now it's time to return the favor.